Welcome to another episode of Unemployed Commentators. It's your host, G Baby and G Millie, because you're stuck with that, Gary. You're stuck with that.
Damn it, Kayla.
And I would like to introduce a new guest. He is a Denver actor. You might see him in Army and Coop. It's Ben Hilzer. What's up, brother?
Dude, what is up? Thanks for having me, guys. This is super fun.
Awesome, dude. He's in Rook too. You should check that out too. Another Denver film.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
hell
Rook
yeah.
just came out.
Yeah.
Blu-ray, DVD, all that good stuff.
Awesome.
Hell yeah. That's fancy, bro.
Oh, super super
awesome.
fancy.
How you doing during this pandemic, Ben?
I'm thankful to have a job where I can work from home. But getting a little stir crazy, trying to find ways to, I was just telling Gary, trying to find ways to stay creative. And at the same time, but it's also been nice. Like I got married over the summer and
congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Big
and so
congrats.
I've gotten some great time with my wife and my dog that I normally don't get because I'm gone all day. And so there have been a little some blessings in disguise, but it's still not it's very unsettling this time right now. So what about you two?
Oh man, we just do this podcast and talk shit all day.
I mean, we've been doing our comedy and stuff, and I feel like you say, like you try to like see like the positive side on all this. And I feel like when it comes to all industries, it's just trimming the fat for those who don't really want to work for it, and those who are actually working for it are working still right now.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and that is, that's the nice thing. I finished up a theater production in February, then the world shut down about 3 weeks later. And, I did take a break, like a couple months break where I got to like recharge my batteries and all that good stuff. But then,
which is always needed.
Oh, you always needed, man. And it's come May, you're just like, okay, I'm done. I'm ready. Like, but the world's not ready for you. You know what I mean? So it's
it's true.
It is what it is.
I think that was when it started, it was the most healing my body have taken since I like took a break from jiu-jitsu, because it was like, well, I don't know if this virus is gonna really kill me. So like everyone didn't know what's going on with this virus. So I was just like, well, let me take a break from everything. And man, I felt so recharged. Now I can take another break, actually.
Another break. Well, I mean, who knows when we're going to be, or if we're ever even going to be back to normal, which is kind of like terrifying to think about. But, it's true. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I was talking to an old choir director, and he was talking about the kids in choir having to sing with their masks on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I was like, it's so bizarre to me now,
Now I want to sing with my mouth over my hand.
Dude, I would I'd get like so here's an innovation for singers and musical artists and opera singers. Get them like a clear mask that you can amplify through,
Or mini mics in masks, dude.
Yeah, you'd need something to project out, because so my wife is a theater teacher, and they're having a lot of difficulties because when you're doing theater, you can't emote very well like this. You know what I mean? So you can only see a third of your face. And so it's just super hard when you're trying to do a full, theater production where you are very, very limited. So it's in singing. I'm doing like this little like filmed cabaret thing, and I had to sing with a mask on, and it's kind of straining because you feel the need to sing louder. And so it's kind of difficult. I could do the Andy Reid though. I could get a face mask and get it all fogged up.
Yeah. I think what's so interesting about that too, like try to do a musical theater, that I was like, maybe we could just make everything ninja. Maybe we could just fit the theme.
Yeah. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Like we're gonna do
Physical.
Shakespeare ninja Shakespeare.
Ninja Shakespeare. Can I be Shredder? Yes, you can be Shredder.
You be Shredder, Jacob. Cast A and Cast B for Shredders, dude.
It's been a whole thing. It's been a change, and and especially like I feel bad for the theaters because like sure you're able to do a show, but you can only fill it at about 20% capacity.
I think like our industry too is 99% we're unemployed as soon as it's hit. And like it was the hardest hit industry, I think more than anything. It's like even with sports, I mean, we kind of figured out a way to get back into it and stuff. And theater though, I mean, you need people clumped in a small room.
Yeah, most of them are having OnlyFans right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in sports, I mean, it's still kind of weird. Like the Dodgers have those cardboard fans all over, and that's what's sad though is I remember I think it was opening day of baseball. I think the first game I want to say it was the Nationals. I watched and they didn't have anything in the stands.
Mm-hmm. It was
that was weird.
So
and then I watched it was bizarre. And then I watched the Dodgers and they had cardboard fans. And I turned to my buddy and I was like, it's sad. That's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Like it is. It was better than seeing just stands.
Whatever time they started piping in sound too, I thought was interesting because like the first few games they didn't do that.
Yeah, they didn't. And it felt like a scrimmage.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. At least the Mets, at least they're used to having no one on the stands.
Yeah. Oh, God. And they're so bad. Their best player hit his weight this year. He's not good.
Bro, Gary and I are trying to get a tryout for the Mets. I think he's great.
Well, Pete Alonso keeps hitting 150 or whatever he did. I don't see why not.
Yeah, I could do that, dude. Just hold my bat out.
God.
Like the whole time, bro.
Yeah, I'll just be like,
God.
The Mets are like, what pandemic? We just don't have anyone that can get in, bro.
was it a pandemic?
They're like, we didn't notice. There's a movie in there. It's like Major League / Bad News Bears, where the Mets don't realize it's a pandemic until their first away game.
We need to do this. We need to get on top of this.
Yeah.
Just go like, what bad news, Mets? Like.
Yeah. They're just like, well, this is fine news.
Yeah.
Oh, this is. I think one of my favorite cardboard cutouts I saw was Osama bin Laden. I think it was for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
What a Canadian thing to do.
Yeah, I was like, that's awesome.
Jeez.
And then the Broncos with South Park was pretty creative.
That
was hilarious. That was funny. I like that.
And then the NBA had like that. The people can just watch it through Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wonder how much money. Do you pay to get on?
You just like fill out a thing and they give you a link. I got on the wait list for the Western Conference Finals Game 2, I think. I didn't get on.
I was on WWE SmackDown.
That's sick.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
Dude, the Thunderdome, bro, is so sick.
Did you see yourself?
No, I think I was like on the side or some shit, but it was so great. Like I was like, wow, I don't even have cable and I can watch pro wrestling now. Keep this going, man.
Was it I got a question. Was it on the same angle? Like, did every fan get a different angle from their Zoom or?
No, it's the same angle.
Really?
You like watching it on TV, really on your phone.
Okay, because I straight up thought it was like.
You imagine you had like a shitty seat, but on
like
Zoom.
you just had like a shitty seat, like up in the rafters,
like
with like a little
wrestling?
GoPro, and you're like, sick, dude.
You're like, this is just like real life.
Yeah. Go Kane.
Oh my God. My little brother did get on with the Nuggets though, and it was like stuck on an image for a while, and he did like the glasses. It was pretty funny.
That's dope.
Yeah, it was just stuck on him for a while.
That's so funny, man. And so let's get back. Let's get on to the finals, like the World Series. First of all, while we're recording this, there is a game going on tonight, and it's between Los Angeles and Atlanta. Who do you think is going to win that game?
I'm picking LA.
Well, who I think will win or who I want to win?
Both.
Think Dodgers, want Braves desperately. Desperately. I hate the Dodgers. Oh, I hate them.
I only like the Dodgers because I played Pee Wee baseball under the Dodgers name, and we lost all the time. So I'm like, yeah, do it for us.
It's hard to get to like, and thank God the Rays won last night because I hate the Astros too.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I'm so glad the Astros lost.
Oh God. And I don't like
Astros.
It's like during the regular season, they were like, hey, like, we'll be bad. We know we cheated. And they were like the 8th seed.
Yeah.
And then they still make it to the finals. And I'm just like, no, go home. I don't want to hear from you. You know what I mean?
That Yankees game against the Rays too. Part of me is like the Rays are just on a warpath.
Yeah.
I was talking to my buddy about that. I was like, what the hell is happening? Because the payroll, I think the Rays had like a fourth of the payroll as the Yankees. And he was like, Moneyball.
Yeah.
Freaking Moneyball. And who's their star player?
Yeah, like the dude I think it was like Barishow had that home run too, and I was like, I've never heard of that guy at all.
Well, they have a new guy every game. It seems steps up, and it's just like that's it's like when during basketball, I loved the Heat. I loved watching the Heat because they were just an awesome team, and that's how the Rays feel. I don't know if it's enough to win.
Baseball seems like it's so weird. Like you don't have to have the most talent, but like if you figure it out with that team. Basketball is like, well, is LeBron on your team? Nope. Better luck next year.
Dude, baseball's a thick boys game, bro.
Yep.
That's why I like baseball.
Yeah, dude. Anyone could be like in it if you know how to time it, and if you got those hip strength, bro. You're gonna have home runs.
Sure. Yeah. I don't, but yeah. I'd probably be like Ichiro. Yeah. I'd be halfway to first base by the time my bat hit the ball, and I'd just slap it and just like try to get singles.
I think I'd be like a Jorge Posada. I'll just be really good at catching the ball and then be like okay at hitting it.
Yeah.
I like how we're like trying to downplay how good we'd be, but we're all comparing ourselves to Hall of Famers.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd only be like, Gary Sheffield.
Yeah. I always thought I had a little Mickey Mantle in me, but
NBD.
What do I know?
I'm a bit of a Randy Johnson. I'm a bit racist.
When I saw her, warm it up.
I could murder a bird mid-pitch.
Yep.
I could rock a mullet.
Like, that's just funny. I feel like I'd be like Ichiro. I'd have 2,000 hits. Yeah. I'd play until my early 40s. No big deal.
So who do you think will win the finals then?
Probably whatever team from the NL makes it. There's just too many bats on both of those teams. Like, I'm shocked the Braves have let it go to 7 because of how strong their lineup is. I mean, they have 5 or 6 really good hitters. Like, it's baffling. So I don't know how, like last night, I think they only scored 1 run. I don't know how, especially when they have likely the NL MVP on their team. I just don't. And the Rays, like, I would love for them to, I think if it's the Braves, I'd like the Braves to win. But if it's the Dodgers, clearly I want the Rays to win. But I just don't think they have enough juice.
I think whoever wins between Atlanta or Los Angeles, I want them to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gary, what about you?
Dodgers, dude. I just think they came back already, dude. I don't know. I gotta go with that emotion, dude. It's like when I see a team come down, like it's like the 2016 NBA Finals, dude, when LeBron came back. It's like
Dude,
gonna
Gary
happen.
is such
Feel
a
it.
huge LeBron fan. He
I'm the
thinks he's the
biggest.
greatest of all time.
Yeah, I've said
Ben
that
is the biggest
countless
LeBron
times.
fan. I fucking love LeBron.
Me too, bro. Like,
I'm
Gary
glad we're in
hates
good
him.
company here
I feel
because
attacked right now.
I think he's the greatest of all time right now.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
100%. Gary, 100%.
Well, when he gets to 123%, we'll talk.
I love LeBron. I
Dude,
love
he's such a badass. Such a badass.
Dude, he'll
Everyone's
be a badass when he fights Kobe Covington.
Oh my god. Dude, LeBron, I've never and I think it was Colin Cowherd said this, which take everything he says with a grain of salt. But he said he is the the greatest we can discuss at the end of his career, but he is the greatest foundational piece of any team ever because he's been to the finals 10 times now, won 4. But I know a couple of those teams he was basically surrounded by a varsity high school team, so it's truly remarkable what he's done.
Hey, would you take Zydrunas Ilgauskas to the NBA Finals?
Hey, so we tried to build you a mini super team with Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving. Both of them got hurt. Still go to the finals, please. Thanks. And then he does.
Yeah, dude.
So that. I think the 07 finals, him getting swept, but it was by the Spurs and they were loaded.
What I like about the Spurs, though, is that they were such a very foundational team, though. They didn't really depend on one person. It was more like a dynamic.
People say, but I'm like, Tim Duncan was so underrated, dude.
He was, but it was a dynamic team of how, he's so underrated because of how dynamic that team was.
I get it, but I was like, dude, go to the gym and try to make fucking backboard shots like him, dude.
Well, that Spurs team, right? It was Duncan, Ginobili, Tony Parker, right? Because Kawhi didn't.
Yeah, Kawhi didn't come around. And they had Steve.
Beat LeBron.
They had Steve Kerr too.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and
Robert
Horry too.
Who did LeBron have though on that team? Because that was the Cavs, wasn't it?
Yeah, Zydrunas Ilgauskas, and then I think it was like Drew Gooden and people like that. Yeah, it was really like
people like that.
I think it went into the finals and they came out with that ad. It was like witness, and we were all witnesses, and there was like hope, but I think everyone was like, dude, they're gonna get their ass kicked. Like the Spurs had been going toe to toe with everybody that whole decade.
I feel like Denver's gonna be that next Spurs team.
I fucking hope so, dude.
I think so. They have that dynamic.
Such a big Nuggets homer.
Yep.
Such a big Nuggets homer.
Same.
This team that we have this year, I'm just enamored with.
Yeah, it's a team to be very proud of for sure.
Yeah.
No,
I'm excited, but at the same time, I'm like, oh, Golden State's getting healthy, and LeBron's coming back.
Steph's better at hosting Holy Moly.
Can we put Denver in the East?
They were talking about seeding it differently, and I'm like, if they're talking about it, I mean, it might happen in 20 years.
Well, I mean, Memphis is already out the West. Why the fuck is it in the West? Put it in the East.
Because it used to be Vancouver.
Doesn't matter, Gary. It's on the west side of the United States.
You didn't know that, dude? Memphis is in the west side.
Yeah.
Football also needs to get revamped too. There are so many. The NFC least is just painful. None of them should make the playoffs. I'm sorry. I would take all 4 NFC West teams over any of the NFC East teams. It's cyclical. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
So.
Watch it be stupid again. They'll upset when the Seahawks beat the Saints.
Yeah, I remember.
It'll be so stupid, dude.
The Seahawks were 7-9 and they made it to the playoffs.
If I was old enough to bet at that moment, I would have been so pissed because there's no way in hell I would have bet on the Seahawks. Dude.
We need to make hats that says "Make Sports Geographical" again, bro. It just needs to happen.
That's the business right there.
Yeah.
That's how we survived during COVID.
For real, man. Put it in its place, bro.
You heard it here. Let's trademark that. I hear
Yeah.
if you just say trademark, it's trademarked. So
Yeah, you don't have to go through law, dude. We're good.
Exactly. Thank you, Ben. You're a lawyer.
Yeah, if you have
That's like-
tax
You
law
guys-
too, you're like, hey, you don't get to take this. It's mine. Oh, right.
it's mine.
Dibs.
That's how Christopher Columbus did it, bro. He's like dibs.
Dibs.
And the indigenous people were like, ah, damn it, okay.
They're like, you know what? That's a good trick. We're gonna name it Dave after you.
I know. I went to the post office on Monday and it was closed. And
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And someone behind me was like, Columbus Day. And I was like, why does he have a day? Who gave him a day?
We got
Like-
a Cabrini Day too. So there's like 2 days now in Denver.
Who's Cabrini?
St. Francis Cabrini.
Who?
A Catholic nun.
Church,
Church.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
church something. I don't know. I've just heard of Church Cabrini.
Yeah.
I never heard of that. Like, and I went to a Catholic school.
Clearly,
Nothing
you
happened.
weren't beaten
Nothing
enough.
happened. Yeah, nothing happened. Don't worry.
Yeah,
guys.
you went, but nothing. Just
He's like
blank.
stone. Gio's like stoned out of his mind in the back. Like, Gio, what are you doing? I'm praying.
Yeah.
I'm praying to Cabrini.
I thought Cabrini was like some magician or some shit, bro.
The Cabrini Church. So they do magic there.
It's
The
not
magical
mutually
Cabrini.
exclusive. I mean, he can do both.
They're just the Cabrini's just like, oh, what's that behind your ear? Oh, those are your sins. I'll forgive them.
Yeah.
Let's them go.
I think they dropped the ball on Columbus Day because they could have celebrated the very first Harry Potter director, Christopher Columbus. It just switched
Yeah.
to Columbus.
I remember when I was like,
he's okay.
I was like 10 years old when that movie came out, and I remember being genuinely confused.
Yeah.
And like talking to my mom and being like, is that the guy that is responsible for why we're here on this particular piece of land? Oh, very cool. I just didn't get it.
Yeah, directed by Christopher Columbus. Right? As a kid, you're like, oh, you can't have the same. You can't have the same name.
Yeah.
It's very confusing.
Yeah.
Very confusing.
When you talk to kids about like their favorite things too, like you cannot have the same favorite things. that
No.
they have.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like as adults, you're like, oh, hey, favorite thing?
Yeah.
You're like my best friend now. And
Oh,
as
yeah.
a kid, you're like, you need to find a different thing.
Yeah, this is mine.
That's my favorite thing.
Oh, you like the Avalanche? You can't like him as much as me.
Yeah.
I don't care if you live here too.
So I have a friend in New York whose name is Christopher Columbus. So every year on Christopher Columbus Day, I just like post on his time like, "Fuck you and fuck your day, bro." And like I don't care. Like I don't really care. And he's like, "Man, why does everyone send me this on this exact day?"
What if that
today.
was his birthday?
Today's the day.
His birthday's actually the week after.
No.
Yes,
Oh no.
100%.
Perfect.
100%.
Perfect.
Well, I hope it gets better.
Yeah.
I hope it's better than Columbus Day.
I
You know-
hope so, man.
I bet at like one point it's gonna like come full circle where like everybody forgets about Columbus, and then they're gonna figure it out again. They're like, "Well, this guy discovered America. We should give him a day." How does no
history-
one heard about this?
History repeats itself, man. History does, man.
Like some president is like, no, like what he did was wrong, and we just take
Yeah.
that day away.
Yeah,
And hundreds of years later, they're like, they rediscover who discovered America.
They'd be like, you know what? It's not actually a bad idea to take this day off, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's not really a holiday in October. Let's just bring it back. And people who just overworked, and they were just like, you know what? Fuck it. Yeah, just bring it back. Bring Christopher Columbus Day back.
if you like ask like some guy like future, what was Christopher Columbus Day? I don't know. It was just a day we got off. Fucking miss it.
Hey, I went to the post office one day and I had to come back the next day. So
Yeah.
fuck Columbus Day. I feel like what will never happen is like if they change the $20 bill to Harriet Tubman, like they've been saying, Andrew Jackson will never be let back in on the 20.
Oh no, not at all.
Like my only question with that, and this is like my only question. It's like we have green ink. How are they? I've been so confused. I'm like, we use green ink on that. Are we gonna change the ink with like making Harriet Tubman? Because they could easily fuck that up.
I've seen mock-ups. It's pretty good.
Yeah. So it's like mock-ups and like actual printing, they're like, oh shit, this does not look like Harriet Tubman. She looks like she's in the Blue Man Group, dude. I think we both
My God.
Like, fuck, this just looks like Fiona. Let's just change this shit up, man.
Oh my God. And Cameron Diaz is like, I am not on the 20.
Yeah.
Please leave me alone.
Oh my God, we put Cameron Diaz on the 20.
That's an Onion article right there.
That is really an Onion article.
Jesus. Cameron Diaz flattered yet confused why she's on the
20. Oh man. So Ben, are you working on any projects right now?
Got a couple things working. I'm doing, like I think I mentioned, I'm doing like a cabaret. There's a company up in Evergreen, and they're doing basically like a series of different songs with a through line. So I'm doing that. I just got cast in a production of Little Shop of Horrors that's going to go up in January. Have you guys seen that movie?
Mm-hmm.
I play the Steve Martin character, the dentist.
Oh hell
Very
yeah!
Cool. Very
yeah,
cool.
So that'll be super fun.
Very cool.
You gotta like
I can see that.
Yes.
I can see that.
And then I'm doing like a radio play too. There's a really cool theater in the Colorado Springs called the Fine Arts Center, and they commissioned like 10 different playwrights to make episodic radio plays about Colorado. Like Colorado is kind of like the through line, and so mine's about Pikes Peak, and yeah, I mean I'm recording it this upcoming week, and yeah, it should be pretty fun.
Awesome.
Other than that, I like what you guys do. I dabble with my own stuff, and just try to stay creative so that when the world, because I feel like when the world comes back, there's going to be such an art boom because people have been building up this bank of ideas, and it's just going to explode everywhere.
For real.
Basically, like, have you guys seen the episode of South Park when Randy has no internet?
Yep.
It's going to explode everywhere when he finally gets internet.
It's the ectoplasm.
The ectoplasm, spooky ghosts.
Did you watch the South Park pandemic special?
Yes, I worship South Park. I love it so much.
That was absolutely brilliant.
It's literally what I went through during while working at a dispensary during a pandemic.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you worked at a dispensary.
So John got called racist yesterday.
Yeah. By a Latino when my last name's Hernandez, bro, and I'm browner than the guy. And he comes in and he was just like, by the way, so I had to wait 10 minutes longer than the person in front of me, and I don't think that was fair, and I think you guys should fix that. And I was like, okay, well, I can do whatever it takes, maybe a free full gram and stuff. And he's like, it's bullshit like this that makes me prove that you guys are racist. You're such a racist. And I was like, I'm sorry? You're a racist. You're racist towards Latinos. I'm like, I don't know if he thinks I'm Middle Eastern or. And I'm like, sir, I'm Latino. What makes me racist? He's like, yeah, you might say you're Latino, but you don't act Latino. And he's like,
That's
you're gonna
so
make
racist.
I'm like, sorry, I'm not making a tortilla in front of you, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah. He's like rolling the joint a tortilla.
Yeah. Perdón.
You just have Doritos, Taco Bell tacos stacked behind you in a pyramid.
Yeah.
What more could you do? John's like, hey, you want to listen to Bad Bunny with me?
Yeah.
What do you want, dude?
So this is after you offered him a free gram.
Yeah. Which,
so
you don't hear that. You don't hear that.
Yeah.
No.
And I managed the place. And it's like I just didn't want to go to the higher ups because if it does, I get fired and then I collect unemployment and then I can play Assassin's Creed while getting paid for it. And I don't want that, man. I don't
So
want
basically
that.
quarantine. You don't want
Yeah,
that again.
yeah, I don't want that again. I never
We're not
had
doing
it.
that.
But if it happens, I will be so pissed. Be so angry.
I don't know, man.
I don't want
I don't know.
Yeah, dude. You don't understand, man. You need that work ethic that keeps you alive.
Exactly, dude, because that's what America is about.
Yeah, dude. You got to go to work 5 days a week, 40 hours a week.
Because it makes me feel like I earned it.
Yeah. Or else you ain't a man.
Oh my God. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I am glad, like, I've kept busy. Like, I'm sure, like, you know, if you think about it, if you weren't working, when you can't, like, go do stuff, it's like when you get a snow day and you can't go sledding. Like, okay, sweet. Now it's just fucking cold. You know what I mean?
Know,
and
bro. I feel like when I was living in New York as a kid and there were snow days, I was like, fuck yeah, I can just stay at home.
Dude,
and don't get me wrong, man. I'm with you. Like I was a pro quarantine guy for like the first 4 months, like a long time. And lately I'm kind of like, okay, I'm ready to
I bet.
do things again. You know what I mean? But like I was a pro quarantine guy. Let me make that very, very clear.
Like whenever they ask you in the future on record, hey, were you pro quarantine or anti quarantine, Ben Hilzer?
I'll look You'll like in the distance
podcast.
and I'll go, I was.
You're peeling your apple with a knife.
It's like that was before the incident.
Like my apple with my pocket knife.
Yeah.
Just stabbing the piece and eating it off the knife.
I was pro quarantine. Just like eating it, bro.
And I have 6 teeth and I'm just I was and apples flying everywhere.
We all lean in like and then what happened?
Then what happened?
I'm so pro mask though. Like especially if I'm gonna stay working like in customer service, bro, I'm pro mask. I don't have to fake smile at people. It's so great. Fuck smiling at people, bro, if I don't feel like it.
Yeah, I feel like I was watching the Tampa Bay Green Bay game and like Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady like approached each other and like stayed 6 feet apart and they were like, good job. And then they like walked away and I was like, they love that shit. Are you kidding me? Yeah. They do not want to like hug or do like the one arm hug and like have to sit there for 20 seconds and patronize one another. They don't want to do that. They love this. You know what I mean?
It's an introvert's paradise, bro.
Oh yeah.
It really is, man. Like I feel like I'm an extrovert introvert. Like I still need my energy from other people, but like not too much. And then I'm like a cat. And I'm like, yeah, you can pet me. And then I'm like, stop. And then walk away. But there's some people that just like they're like crawling in their bedrooms, no light on ever. And it's not depression, it's just how they just function.
I'm more like you.
Yeah.
I don't like big groups. I hate big groups. I can only do like this charges me up.
Yeah.
But only for a little bit. And then I need to like be by myself for a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. It's just so you can recharge, you know?
Yes. I need to recharge.
Yeah, because like I can not talk for a whole day and I'm like, damn, what a great day. But if I don't talk for 2 days, I'm like, wow, what am I doing with my life?
That is right on the nose. And during quarantine, you know, I'm finding like, okay, I can go like 1 day without showering and I'm fine with it. And then like 2 days I wake up and I'm like, nope, this is not, I don't like this. I'm learning a lot about myself that I never had the opportunity to learn before.
It's a reflection period for sure, man.
I know. I feel like I should go on like some vision quests right now, but I can't go anywhere. So
I mean, you can always do shrooms.
Yeah, I was like, do shrooms and watch Gladiator, bro.
I did watch Gladiators just the other day.
Yeah, do it on shrooms now.
I watched Gladiator and then Moneyball because I was talking about Moneyball.
I listened to Grateful Dead for the first time.
Yeah.
It's good.
Dude.
Yeah.
It's kind of
all
how
right.
I felt with the Beatles. I was like, oh, this is what people are raving about.
Like the Beatles and Grateful Dead, in my opinion, like they're all right, but like I still don't see a reason why there are cults about it.
I think it's because we just didn't grow up in that era.
Probably, or just didn't do LSD while we were listening to it.
That's the thing. Like some of the Beatles shit, I'm like, I was listening to some of the songs. I was like, damn, this is pretty like conservative. Like especially like now. I was like, this is not bad at all.
The Beatles. So like my first exposure was the movie Across the Universe. Did you guys see that?
Mm-hmm. Jim Sturgis.
Yep.
Oh yeah, and I'm sitting here like, oh my god, like this music's so good. And then I bought. Do you guys remember the infomercials for the Beatles? It was the One album.
Yep.
It was like the greatest hits. Why would you buy all their albums when you can get one? And then they showed like the one.
Yeah.
And I listened to that and I was like, no, Across the Universe is better. I was like, let's go back to Across the Universe.
Dude, I love like some dads like, hey, you want to listen to the Beatles? Oh, these are the Across the Universe songs. They covered these?
That's like, I hate to mention South Park again. That's like the Guitar Hero episode of South Park.
Oh,
yes.
When he pulls out his real guitar and he's like, I'll teach you guys real guitar. They're like, no,
yes.
Stupid.
You can play acoustically. That show's just been hitting home runs.
For sure.
Every year, dude.
They never lose touch.
No.
They've been hitting home runs like the Braves need to right now.
I think, and every time I see like a critical review where they're like out of touch and stuff like that, I was like, I don't know, we still laughed. Like when I stop laughing at that show, then we'll talk.
The only show that I see most haters is like Family Guy.
Yeah, Family Guy definitely had a drop in quality.
Yeah, for sure.
Family Guy. So after the pandemic South Park one came out, I went down like a YouTube rabbit hole with Matt and Trey because I absolutely worship them. I think they are absolutely brilliant. And there's like a hierarchy of the cartoon like leaders, and it's Matt and Trey, number one. Everyone universally agrees they are the dudes. Matt Groening of The Simpsons is next. And it's more just like, wow, like you've been doing it for so well for so long. And then Seth MacFarlane is like the toilet. He's just he's the very, very bottom. No one respects it. So, it's great. The fans, I feel like all of them, they scratch different itches, but I feel like there's like cartoon wars, really.
Yeah.
I feel like Seth MacFarlane is just very biased.
You know, us, I would probably Mike Judge too.
I'd throw him second above Groening.
Yeah. I like because Mike Judge, when I like think The Simpsons, I love, but like Beavis and Butthead, and then
King of the Hill.
King of the Hill, dude.
Yep.
King of the Hill, I think is, oh my god, so brilliant and subversive.
It is.
But also like Mike Judge, he did Office Space and he did Silicon Valley, and it's just like you gotta, respect that
too, which I think Idiocracy is.
Is that his too?
Yeah, perfect satire.
Holy shit.
Perfect.
Idiocracy, you like, especially like right now.
Yeah.
watch that right now, and it will hit so hard that it ever. When it came out, I feel like they were like, okay, I see what you're saying. Look, sure. Now you're gonna be like, yes. I agree.
We sentence you to 1 night of rehab. Okay.
What's that
it's
book?
Like Monday Night Rehab, dude. It's like a demolition derby.
What's that book? 1984?
Yeah, 1984.
Yeah, it's basically a comedic 1984.
Yeah. That's
In 1984, I read that for the first time like last year, and it
Mhm.
haunted my life.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the movie. I read Fahrenheit 451 after that. It just like you can like go down a rabbit hole of those like dystopian stuff, and it'll ruin you.
Mhm.
I mean,
It's-
it ruined me.
Yeah, like I think Terry Gilliam's Brazil too was another one that fucked me up for a while.
Or just watching Black Mirror episodes, bro.
Or just watch the fucking
Yeah.
presidential debate the other night or last week. That was fucked.
We talked about it. We're like, there was nobody won.
Nobody won in those two between those two.
We
There's
lost.
no winner.
We
Yeah,
lost.
America lost. I also like I didn't watch it. I feel like I had something going on, but like the next morning, I watched the highlights,
Mhm.
like a football game. What the hell? Like,
I watched
No one
start-
did that back then, bro.
I watched
there were
start
no
to finish.
highlights.
Crazy.
Google Romney Obama debate highlights. You know what? You're gonna find nothing.
Yeah.
Like, there's no highlights.
It was
It's-
exhausting and entertaining at the same time.
Yeah.
How long was it?
An hour.
Yeah.
How long did it feel?
3 hours.
Yeah.
I feel like I watch a whole UFC main card.
And it was like a part of me too was just like there's so many things where like Trump or Biden, all they had to do was just say like no or like anything but what they said.
I drank every time Donald Trump said wrong.
Wrong.
Yeah, and I'm like, whoops, tried to drink.
Dude, and
See, those weren't in the
Yeah.
highlights, so I didn't hear those.
they had the hot mic going on too. And like some of the shit Trump was saying under his breath was fucking hysterical. Like I think Biden had some where he was saying like you don't know how to please or something like that, and he's like, oh, I do.
Oh my god! Or was that the bad lip reading? Have you guys
Dude, no,
watched
it
the
was-
bad lip reading? Something
Yeah,
like,
like I mean, it was like it almost was like, yeah, you can't do a bad lip reading. Like they were saying that shit.
Oh, dude,
Like
it's so
never once did I ever think I'd see a presidential debate where he's like, your son smokes crack.
good. Yeah, bro. And the thing is that SNL did like, of course they do a parody of it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's so hard to top it off that they had to bring Jim Carrey in it, and it was okay
Mm-hmm.
because
Yep.
the real debate was just so much more entertaining and exhausting.
that's so
I almost
Weird.
feel like, why haven't they tapped into this shit just to make random people debate? You know what I mean? Like if
Yeah.
you had like Lil Uzi Vert debating like Morgan Wallen, dude.
I feel like after this presidential election, they need to do annual debates with like celebrities at this point.
Yeah, just anybody, dude.
Like Steven
let's-
Crowder versus like some other comedian that's very
Mhm.
left.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do LeBron versus Jimmy Butler.
Yes.
That'd be nice.
Yes.
Let's just see what happens.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's
For
do
real.
Acuna and or Freddie Freeman and Bellinger or something.
Yeah.
You got like these celebrities and they have like these speech and debate like kids that didn't really have like a real job after that and just like
I even want like real people versus politicians. Like,
Just like people off the street.
yeah. You claim this guy wants to take your guns, do you?
Sorry, I was just
Like a-
smoking crack in front of a 7-Eleven. I don't even know where I'm
Like
at.
that's a new competition. Like the new he's like, so excuse me, miss, I read on QAnon that you was eating babies and raping children. She's like, to all my Satanists, stand back and stand by.
See, I want basically like a Luke Wilson and Idiocracy guy, just an average,
Yeah.
just a normal guy, and just ask normal questions and see what happens.
That
And
would
just
have
see
been
how they tailspin.
the best moderator, because like the moderators there were like, oh, we're gonna ask these gotcha questions. But if you're that like fucking guys like me, you'd be like, all right, so which one of you guys is not going to get us killed? Go. Which one of you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just let them argue for an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah,
guys,
just see what
like-
happens.
What's your thoughts on gay marriage? You know, what's your thoughts? Like, no, it was just so weird how the questions were phrased. Even
Dude, there was
Like-
literally like 7 candidates from 7 different parties in Puerto Rico, and
Mhm.
they acted a lot more civilized than
Yeah.
2 people.
Well, like I thought this was a weird question, right? It wasn't even like, hey, like this would be like a better phrase. Like, how do you think you handled the coronavirus? He goes, would you say that the way you handled this coronavirus was an absolute failure? And I was like, that's what?
Yeah,
That's
it
a
was such a
weird way-
biased question.
Yeah, I was like, that's so weird, dude. Why would you like the way you
Because
asked
who's
it?
gonna say? I'm really glad you asked that.
Yeah.
Yes, I was waiting for someone to ask me that so that
Yeah.
I could feel better. I was feeling so like bad about it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ben,
Who's
you
gonna
just
say
came off
that?
the stage. Would you say that you were a complete awful actor on stage? Would you say that's fair?
And I'd be like, thank you so much. Like they weren't gonna ask me that, and I really
Yeah.
needed to get that off my chest.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
we just, I mean, do you denounce actors who lip sync? We heard you lip sync.
That is true. Yes, it is true. Ashley Simpson was doing it backstage for me.
Yeah, it was just weird, like the way the questions were phrased. It was just so, like, I was like, are these people just out of touch with everyone?
Well, how many more left are there?
I don't know if there is anyone because they canceled
Yes.
the other one, right?
Yeah, so
They
there's gonna be
canceled the
one more
one.
left. One more.
Okay.
There's one more, but well, I already voted. So like,
Yeah, I feel like they've had a lot of early ballots get in, so it's like the guy who's just not been paying attention for the last 4 to the whole life. Being like, I don't know who to vote for. I don't know what I believe in.
yeah, like, did the debates change anyone's mind?
I don't think so.
No, not at all.
That's just so, because isn't that the whole point?
Yeah, I still think
I
like
don't-
people like, oh man, Trump's a racist, and other people are like, Biden's gonna take our guns.
Sure, whatever,
Yeah.
whatever opinion you have, just go with it, I guess.
Yeah, for real. I think
I don't.
either way it doesn't really affect me. I'm still here.
Wrong.
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 Like, I made it with Trump as president. With only like $60 in my pocket. It's not gonna affect me either way. You know what I mean?
You nailed it.
Yeah.
You need an I survived shirt.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Be like, I made it through this presidency.
They're like, you can't hurt me.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah, I really don't. Let me kick my cat out of this room. Give me a second. It's all in every episode, Gary. Every episode.
The cat just like, well, why don't you
Yeah.
let the cat say something then?
I feel like it's something that he needs to just let happen. The cat obviously wants to be in on the show.
I just let the cat say its piece, and then
Yeah.
it'll just move on.
You know, like that cat, Gio, it needs to talk. Let it on.
No, dude, it left.
Give the people what they want.
My dog has made an appearance in nearly every short film I've ever made. So
That is true. That is true.
my dog is just the centerpiece of my artistic life.
Oh, man.
She's an English
Oh.
bulldog, and we keep trying to find her like what things to do,
Mhm.
like professional things. Like I did a dog food commercial. Couldn't use her there. Tried to like Gary and I did Army and Coop. We
Yeah.
had an English bulldog, not mine. Like I just
Yeah.
want her to trying to find her time on the light, but it
That-
hasn't happened yet.
That English bulldog on that film, the whole time I was like, please don't die. It was
Dude, no
so-
kidding.
the way it was breathing, like, I mean, I don't know if it's just that species, but it's like
It's like
Well,
that
Ga-
with French bulldogs too.
Gary,
Yeah.
you've met my dog though.
Yeah.
Molly is nowhere near like
She was
that.
in way better shape. I thought the first day, because I think you were talking to Dennis.
Braves are leading, by the way.
Oh.
What's the score?
2-0.
Ooh.
Second inning.
Ooh.
They want it.
That
Yeah.
name.
That smile on your face, Ben.
I'm so happy. I hate the Dodgers. I hate them.
Go Rocky.
I hate them. I hate them so much. I hate them.
Go Rockies.
Listen, my Rockies are so good. It's starting out hot. and tanking all the time. And I thought, so like in a 180 game or 60 game season, right? They start out hot for like 2 or 3 months and then tank.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 months is all we have this whole time. And so I'm sitting here like, I think we can like do this now. And actually they just do the same thing, just in a shorter time period.
We're like, 4 games. Nice.
Yeah. Well, they were number 1 in baseball after like the first 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. And then nope.
Classic Rockies.
For sure.
I think we made the playoffs as a team, the Rockies, like 3 times, I think, total. Around there. We
went twice in a row it was either 16-17 or 17-18. Yeah. And one of them we didn't make it past the play-in game, which is stupid. The play-in game shouldn't exist. And then the next year we beat the Cubs, but then we got eliminated immediately after. Mm-hmm. But we also have a really tough division. Like the Giants are pretty good. The Padres, they may have the best player in the entire league on their team.
For real, Padres are like, I was surprised. Like, I think next season it's gonna be like they're fucking
Fernando Tatis, dude, and like adding Machado, there and Hosmer, like they have a fantastic 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
So the Padres are freaking good, and then the Dodgers, it's like being the Cardinals in the NFC West. It's like sure. You can try.
Yeah, for real.
You know, because the Rockies have studs too, but I don't know.
Yeah,
that's true.
I always feel like if we do better than the Diamondbacks, that's a success.
Well, they don't even have anyone anymore.
Yeah,
they trade away Goldschmidt, and they don't. Yeah. I don't know of anyone that they have.
All right. Well, hey Ben, we really appreciate you coming on the show, man. Spending some time with us talking about baseball.
Yes.
If you guys get a chance, man, check out Rook. It's on Amazon Prime. What else?
Good old Rook. Armin Coop is hitting the festivals again. Mm-hmm. Check that one out. And then I would say, and I got The Shop coming out. I had a small part in The Shop. That's a solid film. Cool. So yeah, check it out.
Very cool. Cool.
Thanks for having me on, fellas.
Yeah, thank you, man.
I'll chat sports and baseball with y'all anytime.
For sure.
Anytime. Love to have you. Thank you.
See you later, bros.
And for everyone listening, stay employed, motherfuckers.
Unemployed Commentators and owner of Best Worst Cantina Media. If you guys like this episode, make sure you like and subscribe. And if we have guests, be sure to follow them, check their stuff out. We're always lucky. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Like I said, if you like this podcast, like it, share it, follow it. We exist because you guys allow us to exist. We're going to keep creating as long as you guys keep watching. Thank you.